Save some the rest of us.
I will not. Do you see this fucking jacket that I'm wearing, Evan? Like, you showed up with this bespoke fucking leather jacket, and I had to put mine on. I was like, I'm not going to let him stun on me on my own show.
You guys look like you were both about to go crush
Top
it if you went
Gun.
out tonight. Yeah.
Who's Maverick and who's Goose?
Looks like we're both auditioning for the same movie.
Sweet Derek, are we live?
We are live, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Naturals Pod.
Welcome to this episode of the Naturals Pod. As always, I'm Uncle Kyle, seated on the other end of the couch with his steely blue eyes. My main man, my partner in crime, Sweet Derek, the producer.
What up, nutties?
Today, we have a very special guest, comedian Evan Connolly. Welcome to the show.
Let's go.
Thank you. And I apologize when you guys said the Naturals podcast. I thought we were all going to be naked. So I didn't mean to show up like that.
I mean, we could still do that. We could absolutely do a naked and
All
afraid,
natural,
all
yeah.
naturals
I
pod.
misunderstood.
That's all right. You wouldn't be the first one. Someone else thought we were the big naturals, too. And if you type that in, you know it's going to come up.
Yeah. We got to start doing themed episodes.
Yeah.
So, Evan, you were not originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, correct?
No.
Give us the Evan origin story. Let us know about your comedic journey and how you ended up here in the city of sin.
So I grew up on the North Shore of Boston. Are you guys familiar with Massachusetts at all?
I am not. I am a born and raised Las
I
Vegas
lived
product.
New
so-
York area for about
Oh,
5 years, but I haven't really been to Boston, no.
So pretty much I'm one of the Wahlbergs.
Okay.
I mean, we did do a burger review there recently, so I feel like we should have got a discount.
Great
you know,
burger. It
given.
is a good burger.
You think it's...
You didn't like it? I thought it was pretty decent. I thought it was like above In-N-Out burger and stuff, and like a pretty like solid burger.
I just remember watching the TV show and the dude's like, I'm not the pointless brother anymore. And then Donnie just comes in and shits on him.
Yeah.
Get in the fucking fridge, you loser. Every episode, the mom cries. I was like, why's she crying again?
I know. Now Mark Wahlberg lives here, and he's trying to make this Hollywood 2.0 now, too, which is
I
strange.
see that every day on Facebook.
Yeah, he's Mr.
Every
Vegas now,
person,
and
yeah.
I'm not a fan, to be honest. I don't mind Mark Wahlberg, with the Mr. Vegas all of a sudden, just like...
Oh my God, Derek
Fucking
coming in
over
with
it.
the straight Mark Wahlberg hate right out the gate.
I'm for it. I haven't liked Mark Wahlberg since Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
That was his last
That was a good one. Yeah, with The Rock.
good flick.
I
yeah,
mean, you got off the cycle, you know. Clearly, you're
Yeah.
not doing the trend or whatever the fuck it is anymore.
And now he's kind of like, it was ever since he did the Boston Marathon bombing movie. I was like, this is
Oh yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so North Boston, practically a Wahlberg. How are we getting to Las Vegas? Bring us around.
So I got into poker. Okay, so it really all started with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Love that.
Did you guys ever play?
So I did not play the card game, but if you pulled out a fucking dual disc right now, summon Skull on, just throw it down on the dual disc.
Universal Trap card.
Oh
you
my
sucker.
God. So I fucking loved the cartoon previously.
Yeah,
I was a big
yeah.
Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Zoids. I have my cartoons that I was
I
into
played
back in
Magic the
day.
Gathering. That's kind of what I really dipped my toe in. Not the Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
side, but I played
Yeah.
MTG.
But I am
never did-
familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh for
I
sure.
never did Pokemon or Magic. It was like just Yu-Gi-Oh. And then got into like Magic.
Oh, like actual, like you're trying to be
Yeah,
like David
kinda.
Blaine. Okay.
Well, like card tricks.
Chris Angel. Yeah.
And then got into poker. And then people kept asking me to play poker, like in like high school. Like I was in
Yep.
the army, and people had a poker game there. And then I was back in Boston, and my buddy went to Wentworth and asked me to play in a poker game with his friends. And then I was like, okay, I think I kind of fuck with poker. And then went out to Seabrook, New Hampshire. Some say the Las Vegas of New England.
Yeah.
I've never fucking heard that before.
Clip it, it's starting now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Seabrook, New Hampshire.
Now I have to ask real quick then. So are you the Ed Norton? Like, could you freaking, since you know card tricks and a deck, could you rig a deck in a card game?
I cannot rig one in like that. If I spent a month and a half YouTubing card tricks, I could be a really good magician.
Yeah.
I was that into it. Like, I'm not trying to.
So I'm saying you could be a card mechanic and really like rig a deck in a poker game if you had to in about a month.
I could do a lot of magic tricks.
Yeah. So Derek,
I want to say, and then in 90 days they bring me in. They're like, okay, 3 full houses? And the dude that looks like your cousin? I'm like, no idea. And then they pull up, Jamie, pull up Evan on the naturals. I'm like, I fucking.
Yeah, we don't want to get you in
Guarantee
trouble
it.
there. Fair, okay.
Yeah.
He knows nothing about card tricks or magic at all, and he would need months of time.
Okay, don't worry, people.
I don't want to brag. I was in the Society of Young Magicians as a kid. Seriously. There's a real trouble when. Imagine being in high school in the Society of Young Magicians.
Shout out Society of Young Magicians.
Yeah.
So like, speaking of that, like when we were first starting to play poker at a young age, we had fake IDs. We were going to the casinos and playing with them because it's like there's a low tax liability with the casino. You're more likely to be able to play as a fresh-faced little boy with a fake ID.
Was that out here?
It was.
It was,
Oh,
yeah. But we would also play in home games, and there was this one that we played at. This one husky lesbian chick had this giant mansion that she had a roommate who was a stripper. Do you remember this?
I do
shit,
remember
Sweet Derek?
this, yeah. And then a cash game.
But
Cash
they
game
had
house.
an awesome regular weekly cash game. They
Oh, it
had
was good
nice
money,
chips. But there was one time that I went, because he and I would typically go together. There was one time I went alone, and this guy was clearly cheating. He was base dealing.
Yep.
He was throwing cards off the bottom of the deck, and I saw it, and most of the people weren't recognizing that.
Because you think you're drinking and you're like, it's a home game, no one's gonna cheat in it.
So
and
you
it's
did
like,
the rounders, you grabbed his hand, he's like, let it turn it.
But
These boys are working.
you guys working? I wish I could have
movie.
beat all these people up, but it's like,
I still love that.
yeah,
it was
so
just
good.
a fucking super noticeable pattern because they had leave it in. They had this one guy who was super drunk at the time we were playing that they were just dumping to, and then they would distribute amongst their friends. And at the time, you know, we're like 19, 20 years old, and I maybe had a couple $100 that I brought to this house. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to let him take my money. I'm going to fucking leave. But it was super, super obvious.
It's like, I couldn't imagine growing up out here because I never did the fake ID thing with poker.
Ever.
No? Because people just kept, like, I remember in high school, we started getting the lacrosse team to play poker in this kid's basement. And I'd probably kill myself if I looked back on the rules we played with. You know what I mean? It was like, I think about this all the time, that there was a point in time where we thought if two people had the same hand, that it went by suits. Like, we had no chop pots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'd have to pull up the card ranking chart like once an hour. And that and the rule with can you only play one card every hour, we would get in that argument. It was awful.
One card, yeah, you guys are complete noobs then at that point.
Yeah, and it was just like everywhere people like the army, and when I got home it was like 3 random times people asked me to play in like house games, but just like fun ones, not like serious.
It's normally what it's supposed to be. Yeah.
But also you get like the super weird house rules, because there was this other house that we would go to regularly. It was these no shade, it was these Asian people, and their setup was legit. They had, because I'm sure, because you are working as a poker dealer right now at, I don't know if you want to disclose which property you are at.
An MGM property that's not
MGM
Bellagio.
Resorts, but you deal tournaments as well, so you know there's a tournament clock, and they have it all set up on the monitors where you can see, you know, what the blinds and the ante are, and the schedule, everything. They had that legit setup in their fucking house. They had TVs in every room.
So what part of Spring Mountain was this? Nah,
it really was.
It was on Spring Mountain. Yeah, we're not going to tell you which side.
So they had like a fucking legit setup. Like, you would go in there. They had multiple actual poker tables, the decks, the chips, everything. And then the thing that always got me, because we were so young at the time and we were not really contemplating trying to hustle these people, they had a sign on the wall that said, just remember, 5 aces doesn't beat a Glock or something like that. It's like, you know what, go fuck yourself. Like,
might get that tattooed. That's pretty. That's charming.
5 aces doesn't beat a Glock, and it's very true.
right on the chest, 5 aces doesn't beat a Glock. Bang.
I remember, so I played for a while in just like fun games with people I knew, and thought I was good, and then went to go play in the casino because Massachusetts didn't have any casinos. You had Foxwoods Mohegan.
Yep.
Okay.
That was like a 2.5 hours.
You have
drive,
Atlantic
2
City.
hour.
Were you close to Atlantic City?
Like 4 hours ish.
yes, okay,
but New
just
Hampshire had poker rooms.
Oh, okay.
So it was all like poker rooms that at the time looked like the basement of like a Knights of Columbus.
Yep.
You know, and I remember I went out there and just got killed forever.
Now
Learning how to actually play, and then that's how I got in. Was there,
is that
and then-
similar to, because like when we went to Austin, we've gone to Austin a couple times to see Kill Tony and stuff. They have card rooms, and you essentially pay a membership fee, and it's not the same as being in a casino.
So that's the difference. Is they rake the pot, but in New Hampshire it was called charitable gaming. So they
Oh, that's
They
fucking
find these
weird.
weird loopholes then.
So it
yeah.
was 40% of the casino's profit had to go to a different charity every 10 days.
Oh.
Whoa,
Poker
what the
wasn't
fuck?
that affected, except you couldn't play higher than 2.5. But for table games, they had crazy rules. Like, because I started dealing there, and that's how I got into dealing. And when I first started, I think it was like $5 a hand in blackjack. $5 a spot in roulette. They play like Mississippi stud, but it was like really. And,
Yeah, I
and
remember
now
that,
they've
yeah.
gone up a bit.
Yeah,
But-
not even a bit. The limits are fucking insane. Like even for blackjack, if you're like, oh, I want to go torch like $200 or $300,
It's like
the-
25 a hand.
or 15 is still just a
Yeah.
lot. Like, can I just play $5? And
Yeah, that doesn't
fuck off
exist
a little
here.
bit.
Well, go to New Hampshire and you can only play $5. It would be impossible to burn $300.
And we'll give
It
a
really
charitable donation to some charity in New Hampshire.
So that's how they did it. And then I started dealing out there, and I got like 2 years of experience. And then I was like, okay, I think I'm going to move to Vegas. I always wanted to move out here before, but stuff just kept making sense. And I remember I thought every place was as expensive as Massachusetts.
Oh,
Yeah.
And one day I
definitely
got
not.
drunk and I looked up how cheap it was to live out here. This was right before COVID. I was like, oh, fuck, I could go now. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, $2,000, $3,000? Like, it's not that expensive. I didn't live in a luxury place when I first moved out here, but then I moved out here. COVID hit like 3 weeks later. So it got super.
Oh, you were right on the fucking cusp of the COVID wave?
I moved out here like mid-January 2020.
Okay.
And I moved into a house that I found on Craigslist. I had 8 roommates.
Holy
Damn,
fucking
dude. Holy
shit, how
shit.
big was this
It
house?
was pretty big. It was
Yeah,
like an
dude.
adult frat house.
Oh, damn.
So we had 8 bedrooms, or 9 bedrooms.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
2 living rooms, pool and hot tub set up like out there with the projector.
What?
And it
That's
was
pretty cool.
It was super cool, especially because COVID, and I didn't know anybody out here. So I had
Oh, yeah,
like
it's amazing.
out of 8 roommates, like me and 4 of them got really close through COVID. We played Risk every day.
You fucking nerds.
Dude.
You had like
Dude, it
D&D
was
tournaments
fucking-
too. Like, show me your dice really quick.
Dude, we used to simulate on 2K. We'd simulate full playoff series and watch them, and there were no sports. One time,
I respect it. I like that.
That is the
That sounds
peak
fun.
of COVID
Yeah,
fucking
dude, yeah.
hobbies right there. We're simulating championships. Let's go, boys.
we simulated the 98 Bulls against the 2013 Cavs to see LeBron versus Jordan. LeBron actually did win it. I don't think it would hold up because it's a video game.
Yeah.
In any real Facebook argument. But
I mean, also for those of you who are in the fucking GOAT argument, like we did the research in our lab. Uncle Kyle, PhD, MD. We will show you the stats. Like LeBron
very
won.
high tech.
Fuck you, Michael Jordan.
And
Fuck you.
And that's why I was playing WSOP the most. I was lived for WSOP. That was
Yeah.
every day was.
I know.
So
Online poker really is the
were
best.
you a phone guy or an on the computer guy? Because we have some stories with the WSOP. I actually won, or we collectively sitting in front of the computer.
I'm gonna
account.
just real quick. I'm gonna count that as a cutoff. I'm gonna count that as a fucking cutoff, dude. That was a pretty bad cutoff. I was getting into the WSOP online thing, and now I think I gotta put a cutoff on the Uncle
Okay,
Kyle's
mark
cutoff
one.
counter. Yep. So we will be marking one.
So
when we-
okay,
when we-
well,
I was joking. I didn't know there was one.
There is
so
one.
there is one. I have to maintain accountability with this shit, Evan, because I am just so bad about butting into fucking conversations. My rule is like, it's like traffic. If I cut you off and I come in, I'm coming in, and
Yeah.
damn the consequences. Like, you're not getting back in front of me. So I will mark it down. Talk about WSOP. Fuck you, Derek,
because
for pointing it out. Okay,
with
fine.
the cutoff board, just quickly, every 3 he has to do a punishment. He's done da bomb hot sauce, jumped in a pool under 50 degrees, and then we just shock tased him with a shock ring in his butt. You'll see that. Go back. This will come out after that, but that was hilarious. He got shocked in the butt. Every 3.
Jesus,
So
that's a tight shit. It's not all in a room. Have a conversation for an hour, but don't you dare cut me off.
Dude, I have a fucking problem. I do this shit
aggressive
way
with it,
too
though,
often.
yeah.
We're trying to get it under control.
we're just trying to clean it up.
Fuck, man.
Torturing him.
We are, but he's gonna learn. But anyways, yeah, the WSOP online stuff. It's just a shame because such the strong brand of it. Like, they haven't updated the website. They don't listen to the players. They don't care about the players, and it's so unfortunate because it's like you're in the trend to bring online poker back after the disaster that was fucking Full Tilt Poker and all those fucking ultimate bets. That shit was wild.
Who was it when they were doing Poker After Dark or some shit, and he just straight up said, yeah, I have like multiple accounts that I play on and shit, when he has an actual legit big dick player account with his own avatar and everything, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You're saying this on national television? Like, what?
For as slick of card players as those dudes are, they get so slipped up when they're bragging. They're like, oh, the tournament? I just had 12 bot farms. The whole bubble was just me, actually. I was in Cancun by then.
Yeah,
I just anteed
it was
out.
really optimal. I just made sure I was. Yeah, it's just like holy shit, dude.
So I did the solvers 3 weeks before I loaded them in there, and I'm like, what? It's like him, and that's why
Fuck.
I did love playing in New Hampshire because there's a bunch of like blue collar dudes. Oh my god! Now it's like New Hampshire.
In the pod, it's unplugged, dude. You gotta plug it in. All right, fuck it. We are leaving it in. Don't let it break your flow, dude. But fucking no.
It's like New Hampshire, no electricity. It's crazy.
Oh shit.
This is a dope setup.
So Evan, I appreciate you saying that. So before we really get like balls deep into this, like, you should know we did a little studio remodel before you came over. We had a desk that was substantially larger than this, and it was shoved up against the wall, and now we're kind of moving things around, and you get to be a magical part of that.
Did you make that desk?
I fucking love that you asked me that, but no, I didn't make that desk. Oh my god, now you gotta free frame the camera. Ah! But no. That's like a world market or cost plus or something joint, but it kind of matches the general aesthetic of the room and everything. Okay, so
They're nerds. They're pretty much like, dude, for playing
And
in
we're
New
back.
Hampshire,
we're
those
leaving
dudes-
it all in. We're back.
Yeah. The New Hampshire poker players are like construction workers, drywall people. They have tons of money. They live in New
Thank
Hampshire.
you. I don't live in New Hampshire, but I am a construction people, so
So it's like they're not
tons
like
of money. Like, thank you. Like, I'm rich.
Ladies,
in case
he's
you didn't
rich.
know. Available. I cook. I clean.
save some the rest of us.
I will not. Do you see this fucking jacket that I'm wearing, Evan? Like, you showed up with this bespoke fucking leather jacket, and I had to put mine on. I was like, I'm not going to let him stun on me on my own show.
You guys look like you were both about to go crush
Top
it if you went out
Gun.
tonight. Yeah.
Who's Maverick and who's Goose?
Looks like we're both
Something you
auditioning
can
for the
find out.
same movie. We're going two directions. Norwegian.
We just need to know:
or-
do you want somebody with or without hair?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all you fucking. That's the only decision you need to make. I mean, we're wearing a helmet for the scenes, so
I mean, I'd have to say for the action scenes though, the bald is usually the play though, man, because you got the Statham, right? You got so
you're
many
fucking
like
more
Bruce Willis.
aerodynamic, Evan.
Bruce
Vin
Willis,
Diesel,
Vin
yeah.
Diesel.
Yeah, aerodynamic for when they jump out of a plane. Because I remember I wrestled in high school and kids would shave and they'd be like, so much weight. I'm like, how much do you think hair weighs? Like, really?
I gotta cut. Don't fucking like chew gum, dude. Did you actually wrestle in high school?
Yeah.
My fucking god.
No, it's a bit.
I just pretend like I wrestled in high school. But the
Stolen
fucking, I remember that being in high school, and like some of the guys would do insane shit. They had bottles that they would spit into. Like they wouldn't
Whoa,
even
yeah.
ingest their
Oh,
own
yeah.
spit. They had the
What
fucking
the fuck?
sweatsuits on, everything.
Trash bags under the
Yep.
sweatsuit. And I remember I respected this one kid so much because he was just like, fuck that. And just told the dude to fuck off. He's like, dude, if I'm not going to make weight, I'm not going to make weight. And the coach was like, stomped. He's like, what? Like, I guess I can't make you spit in a bottle and. Like,
This will be an unclassified weight class. Like, this won't be championship regulation.
I don't think people realize how fucking gnarly cutting weight is, though, especially for like UFC fighters and
It's
pro
fucking
fighters.
insane,
It's
dude.
actually insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, people, your mind would be blown if you like dive into that and think that that's easy or normal. That shit is aggressive and insane how much weight they lose and then gain.
Yeah, and the stupidest part of it is, so you lose all this weight from all the running with the trash bag, spitting in the bottle.
Yeah.
As soon as you drink water or eat something after the weigh-in, you're back up to the whatever weight you were anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You immediately...
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
I
like-
don't
So they're
fucking
not
get it
fighting
either.
at that
They're like,
anymore. Yeah, it's like
We're wrestling at 180. You know what I mean? If that's what you are, because then you're like pretending to be 172 for 3 minutes.
that shit is wild to me. Like, you must make this weight, and then after you just immediately balloon up
Yeah,
to it.
and they
I
don't
mean,
care.
I didn't fit
And
into
they don't
any
care.
fucking weight categories because your boy is like an extra heavyweight without the power behind it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pile of pudding, so I wouldn't have done it.
But yeah, I remember our wrestling team was like the fifth. I've always been in situations where it's like all like the weird, like the crazy people. Wrestling was like the 15 craziest kids. Army was like all the crazy people. Comedy's all crazy people. I love that being amongst like all the lunatics.
Yeah, you like the term of
absolutely.
being on the crazy side.
Yeah,
Dude, it's
Yeah.
great. We've come and seen the show a couple times and hang out with you guys. You guys are awesome. We love the local Vegas comedy scene out here, and we appreciate that you guys have fucking warmed us, you know, and welcome us in your fucking community because it's great. It's really fun, and you guys are crushing it. And I think Vegas doesn't get as big as much of a rap as it should for comedy. A lot of comics come through this town, and I think there's a lot of comics in this town. So
you guys left before this went down last Monday. I ended up having to leave my car there for the night because a homeless dude had gotten stabbed. Really bad. I don't know if you want to cut this. I'm dead serious. So this happened around like 12:31 probably.
okay,
What the fuck does your car have to do with this
No,
situation of somebody getting stabbed? Was it a part of the
right
fucking
next to my
crime
car.
scene?
It was right next to my car. The cops come in and they go,
Holy
hey,
shit.
everyone has to either stay in the bar or if you leave, just go right to your car and drive home. And I went to go leave, and right around my car is all cautioned up, and all the cops are using it like a coffee table.
I don't know if we can fucking leave this in because we were
No coasters. They just had coffee cups all over my car. A dude had a laptop on like the hood. And I will be honest.
dude, this is insane. What?
So
sorry,
they were using your fucking car as a workstation inside of an active fucking crime scene.
Cautioned up.
Dude, this is insane.
Coffee cups on there. To be honest, I had a few knocks at the bar. I was wearing a Celtics jersey, which looks very incriminating for drunk driving. And I was going to go walk out of my car, and I saw 7 cops in caution tape. I'm like, I'm not going to
You
ask them.
abandoned the fucking car at that
Yeah,
point.
see,
This
so
is
that's
what
as he
car?
did.
That ain't my
Hey,
car.
troopers, like, why don't you skedaddle? The buzz is wearing off. And
Wait, so
like,
how did you know? Like, so no one knew this happened though until you went outside. Like, so someone just got stabbed / murdered outside.
You're
You
gonna
guys are all
fucking
like,
bleep. Buddy, we gotta fucking make that location undisclosed. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
at this random open mic, there was across the street from across the street. There was, you know, the one connect.
Yeah, I do.
It wasn't on their property. Stabbings happen, I guess. If probably not in this neighborhood. More frequently in the. I'm not going to be booked there for a while. I don't think.
They fucking do not. Oh my god.
So like everyone heard about it. And then as soon as 7 cop cars came, that's when they were like, "Hey, get in or get out." I didn't know exactly where it was, and when I walked out, they were like,
dude, this is insane.
Using
so you're
my
like,
car.
well, okay, I don't have a car now.
"Well, like I could have asked them, but again,
Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah,
wanna
good
be-
luck. Fuck yeah. Oh, let me get in my car and drive away. Yeah, while
Yeah,
you're a little
and-
drunk and stuff. And
So I just asked for a ride home and made the walk in the morning to go retrieve my.
yeah, right, dude. That was an insane. That's insane though, dude. Like that fucking.
at that random
Someone got-
open
yeah.
mic. I wish I remember the name of it. But it slipped my mind.
Yeah, like someone getting freaking stabbed though, dude, and then you walking out and you're being the car that was right there. What are the chances? That's wild,
yeah, I was
dude.
like,
And they're
oh,
like a
Jesus.
freaking homicide. Dude, I wonder if the guy died then.
I thought he died at first, and then somebody started saying that he survived.
Oh, okay,
Which
that's
made
good.
me feel better that it wasn't
Yeah.
like at the scene of a murder. I'm
Yeah.
like, are they gonna ask me like whose cars?
Whose
Right
car
there.
is this? Yeah, did you murder this guy?
There's an H&R Block slip. I'm under audit right now. So it's like, oh no.
Yeah, that is insane, dude. That happened. That's
Yeah,
crazy. But what I'm saying is like, sorry, I don't know
Oh,
if
no,
you got
no,
this
no.
question. Is how did like nobody knew this happened? Is what I'm saying. Like, or
So apparently a couple comics that were outside when everyone was smoking brought up that they drove by somebody looking down on their luck. But it was kind of joking until 7 cops came out. Apparently, from what
shit.
I heard, it was a homeless man.
yeah.
And it was like at the Roberto's. So not at the
Dude,
There's a million Roberto's. I think it was Boulder City, Summerlin.
yeah,
one
this
of
is
those.
insane though, dude. This is a great story.
Put
That's
it in
fucking
Summerlin, dude.
Yeah.
Summerlin needs to up its crime rate. Like, fuck,
It was outside
dude.
the California Pizza Kitchen. It was nuts. Between
shit,
that and
dude.
Panera Bread, but
Oh shit, that's
Yeah, that might
fucking
have been-
crazy. So as far as like living in Vegas though, you love it so far?
oh, I love it. I love it. So
So hold on, just to be clear, you came out here like literally
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
before the pandemic jumped off. That is an insane time.
It is.
to just happen to end up in Las Vegas.
So I
dude.
came out here. I was like, I wanted to deal in the World Series, which sounded cool from a New Hampshire poker room standpoint.
It sounds
Later-
cool until you realize how miserable that job is, right?
That and so what happened was I auditioned for that, got it. I was like, I'm gonna live out here till at least then. COVID hit, World Series canceled. I got a job at Super Pawn, being a pawnbroker on West Flamingo. Did that for 6 months.
Isn't that insane that was considered fucking a business that should be open?
pawn shop?
a pawn
Yeah,
shop.
a pawn
Oh,
shop.
Are you talking about the one that's like it's like a stone's
But that's
throw
but
from the
you're
fucking
telling
palms and
me
shit?
this is why
From
that
where?
shit was broken though. It's an essential
pawn
business. A fucking pawn shop is an essential business.
I mean, the exchange of money.
Well, it was
like,
crazy because
fucking-
people were so desperate for cash that like everyone was coming into pawn stuff.
Dude,
and I
that's
had to be the pawnbroker. I've always had sketchy jobs, ironically.
So are you
I have
like
no idea why.
you're like a Pawn Star guy, dude? You were the
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
like deciding
yeah,
prices
it
and
was-
shit on pawn shit.
Not
I
only
did the
is he a
whole
member of the
pawnbroker-
Wahlburgers, but look at the head. He could be on Pawn Stars too.
Rick.
Rick's long lost son, right
Let me
here.
call him my friend. He's an expert on.
I got an expert. I got a buddy. I know. Like,
He's like, it's an iPad. How do you not know?
How did you like? So how did you learn this though? You like learn the prices of shit? Like this is
Yeah.
interesting to me.
It was a very corporate one, so with some of the jewelry and like watches and spotting fakes takes some time. In general, like when you start, a lot of it, and I only did it for like 6 months. I did see a championship ring, which is
Oh, damn.
one of the
That's
first
kinda
things.
dope.
Yeah, I remember when I first started, I was like, I wonder how long until I see one. It was like 2 weeks. It was
I
like
mean,
2 weeks, and I was
Las
like,
Vegas
Jesus,
is the
though.
place where dreams come to die. I literally played fucking. I have literally played blackjack at a
Yeah.
It might not be a $5 table anymore. A $5 table at Ellis Island Casino.
Still a $5
with a guy
table,
that had a
100%.
fucking Patriots championship Super
Yeah.
Bowl ring, and he was a giant fucking mountain
Yeah.
of a human being. You're like, oh, that's real.
yeah.
Like insane.
This dude,
Shout out fucking Ellis Island Casino too.
I don't want to say who the
That's
player
so
was, but it was Dallas Mavericks 2011 championship.
Okay. I
And-
think I know exactly who you're fucking talking about then.
And it was
He has
was
been known
interesting.
on social media to be like,
Correct.
oh,
yeah.
oh fuck.
But
Okay,
it
how
was,
much was it then? I need to know
Oh,
how
the
much
loan
fucking-
was because in the pawn world, you can't really give someone a price based off what it could mean, like with sports memorabilia.
Yeah. It's the
So
value
just
of like the
gold.
precious metal,
So it was
the
like
gems.
25,000, 30,000.
Whoa,
That's still a lot,
which that is
though, yeah.
insane for a pawn shop number.
Yeah,
25K,
that's a lot.
that's a
Yeah,
lot. That
yeah,
means
but-
that shit must have been worth something.
Then the interest, it was something like for him to get it out at the time, I think was like 50,000, 60,000.
Damn.
Basically, you're never getting that bad, and somebody came
Did
up
he
on
come
it
back? I wonder if they
2013.
came
Not
back.
while
Do you
I
know?
worked there.
Okay.
But
No.
you gotta
No,
think
No
about it.
fucking
Yeah.
shot. He
Yeah.
came back for that.
But I did that while all the casinos were closed. And then when they started opening up, I got a job as a table games dealer at Boulder Station. Doing the
You
graveyard.
live out here know about Boulder.
That is the fucking trenches,
dude.
of table game dealers. If you're from Vegas, Boulder Station on Boulder Highway, that's the motherfucking
If you don't know
spot,
what Boulder
dude.
Station is, picture doing acid with your drunkest uncle, and he has $500 and makes up his own rules at a casino and has an escort.
I'm gonna
That's
start
Boulder.
an empire tonight, boy. We're doing it.
There's a lot of startup business talks at the craps table there. And you're really rubbing elbows with Las Vegas's elite at Boulder High. But that sucked. But I did that for like another 6 months-ish. Okay. And then I happened to get hired at,
Nice.
I mean, an undisclosed MGM.
I'll edit it
Which
out.
is just an insanely cool poker room. I mean, if you're cool with leaving it in, poker room, super cool. The MGM properties in general, like, are one of our regular. Was fucking Mirage ever an MGM property?
Yeah.
It's been
I think
sold
it is now.
I think it is. Dude,
now.
MGM, the Mirage poker room to us was like my child, like my not my childhood.
Our
but
childhood of playing poker.
childhood of
Guaranteed,
playing
dude,
poker,
from
like
18 to
from
21.
18 to
dude.
21. That was our go-to spot. I fucking love that room, dude, because it wasn't a lot of locals
got
and
to
shit.
play it.
That's
Yeah.
it was so good, man, because it was just a lot of tourism and like when the what was it? The fucking. A lot of events that were in town and shit, like the rodeo and stuff like
yeah,
that.
that was
A
always
lot of them
known
would
as
fucking
the Mecca
they
for-
would go there, and it was just like fucking free money, dude. CES and shit. So
I know I love but I've worked there obviously now a lot more than I've played there. My favorite to play is Bellagio.
yeah,
Because
Great poker
there's
room.
something
Great
cool
room,
about the
poker room.
old feel of it.
Bobby's
I like
room
it.
too.
Yeah,
it's super
yeah.
cool.
I think it's Doyle's room now, but
Yeah. I would.
Was it fucking Bobby's room?
It was Bobby's
It was
room,
Bobby.
but I
Okay,
think
for
it's
sure.
Doyle's
Oh,
room
no.
now. Yeah, I think they
Well,
changed
Bobby,
the
you've
name,
been
but
usurped then. It's Doyle's room now,
I
bitch.
could be wrong, but
Oh, yeah.
But that is a great poker room.
it is.
I remember, you guys might think this is funny from being Las Vegas locals into poker versus a perspective of an out of towner moving out here for poker. I was terrified to play on the Strip because I thought that's where all the best players were. I had no
Really?
interest in playing with the best players.
I've heard that before.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
I have heard that before.
So my roommate, who was also a poker player, convinced me to play at South Point.
Yep, South Point.
And I went there. I played there for a while, and I would just get pissed off because people would like bet $6 with quads on the river, and I'm like, oh, how did I not fucking know that you had quads? Dude's like,
Yeah,
dude's like with the divorce lawyer. He's like $6, and he's like quads. I'm like, he's getting an alert for Uber. I'm like, is he still? And I didn't like knowing the people because you play there for a month and you know everyone. And then the first time I went to the Strip, I go, oh my God, these guys are effing suckers. These guys are so much worse. And then I realized that the Orleans and those dudes are tougher because they do this every day.
Correct.
They're
Yeah,
so-
you're
Yeah.
catching the locals, which is on the Strip. You're getting
all the
convention
tourism, dude, the
crowd
people
and
that wanna
people
play
that
poker, yep.
love poker but aren't people who are really students of
There's
the
so
game
many
and want to
times
do it. Like
someone has aces, and I'm like, just fold. Like, look at this dude, and the dude is like the most obvious, and I'm like, how would you ever call there? Like, this dude's like jumping out of his seat, his face is turning red. I never played as high stakes as you, but like in the 1-3-2-5, those people wear it on their sleeve.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still it still happens because when I was playing cash, there's like 5, 10, and 10, 20 no limit, and you still get the whales and shit.
Yeah,
You see that. It's just a more tougher. There's a lot more. So I always called it the call train. So you deal. So you see the 1-2. One guy calls $10, and then 6 fucking people are calling $10. In the higher limit games, you're getting a lot more fucking 3 betting and a lot more heads up hands because there's a lot more 3 and 4 betting before the pots. It's not just the call train where it's everyone's like fucking $8, okay, and it's 8 people do a flop, and we're playing bingo now. You know.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it was Negron who said this, but it's the truest thing that, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, and it happens with comedy too, but I can also make a poker reference for anything, is that people always have the saying of like low stakes players who suck would say if it was high stakes, they'd be better. That's never the case, right?
Yeah.
Because if you suck at low stakes, you're going to suck at high stakes.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know what I mean? Like, people...
But the thing is like people think, so this is the weird thing. So there is a lot more luck.
I'm riding the fucking original cutoff. And I think in the lower stakes, it just sucks because your skill cannot shine because there's so many people ignorantly just like, okay, versus like you have to level up your game and play at higher stakes in order for your skill
That's
to come
what I was
into
going to
play,
say is
because
from me coming from I played for a living, 1-2 is a game where if you're building a bankroll, build your bankroll and get the fuck out of it as fast as you can because it's just way more luck heavy, dude. You can be playing the best game of your life, but again, like I said, if you're raising to $10 with Ace King Pre and you're getting called by 7 players and you're seeing flops, we're playing bingo now. You're not going to know.
You're getting punished by the odds, by like
know,
the very nature of the fucking game.
You're not going to know hand ranges and where your opponent's at. And yes, there are situations where you can read the people more because they're bad and you can beat the game, but usually you want to get out of that game as fast as possible if you're good.
But it's
I
also
am not
like,
good.
I just see a lot of people that are fish in 1-3 and they go, well, if everybody played the right way, I'd be a monster.
Yeah,
and be
that's
like,
not
no,
true.
you're
You'd get
just
murdered.
not sharp in general.
Correct.
Because like you're saying, with how much more 5 betting and 4 bettings in 10-20, 5-10, I'm like, dude, you would get destroyed.
You know what's
You wouldn't
funny?
know what to do.
Yeah.
You would muck every hand because you'd be terrified because these people will just attack.
You as a dealer can probably account of this. Like you'll notice the better players are 3 betting and 4 betting more. The bad players are limping and calling. That's a bad player. Better players are all about aggression, putting your places in tough spot, position, 3 betting, 4 betting.
Well,
and it's amazing how people don't do that unless they have fucking aces. Like,
and that
so
is
obvious.
like the typical mindset with a lot of things. Do you play video games, Evan?
No.
Okay.
I honestly,
but
that's why
but there is the same thing because like Derek and I play Call of Duty a little bit, and some people are like, if I buy this $8,000 computer, I'm instantly going to become better, and it's just not the case. Like you need both. You need the skill of the game and the limits to where your skills can shine, and you can actually like put them into effect.
A total package. It's like sometimes it's the magician, not the wand. You know what I mean? It's like you might not be good at this game because it happens with comedy too, where it's like, how many nights is it the audience? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they all suck.
I fucking love that, dude.
I love that.
That's a
great
short
point.
touch.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great point.
Like, and it's always funny with comedy too, because it's like you're supposed to be funny and so just entertain the audience. Like, I guess they are the role, or like I bomb, but I don't blame it on them.
Do you find that in comedy?
So I just have to say in this moment, like, that is why I was so excited to have you on the pod. Is the first time I saw you perform, it was at Planet 13, which is a super cool venue.
Yeah.
Great mic. The atmosphere is incredible, but you crushed it right off the bat. And I was like, we have to have this guy on. Like, you really found a way to just get everybody's attention and fucking command that. And it was fucking awesome, dude.
I definitely commit because I'm more one-liner stuff. So if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well for a while. If it doesn't, it's like, but I am fully comfortable, and I've done it a lot, just bomb for 15 minutes with people looking at me very strange.
Well, and
I will not break.
And that
I mean, I
is
respect
a lot
that.
of it with comedy is like you have to find your room. Like if you just have a really good set that crushes in front of people, you have to accept the fact that at a certain point there will be rooms where it will not be as well received, but like like this is good. Like,
and I would assume that like because you kind of melded in both worlds, like open mics are just completely different than actual shows, right? I mean, open mics are being
100%.
judged, right? Or people are trying their own thing, or like I think I said the line at Huntridge Travis is like people aren't here to like laugh, they're here to judge you. Like I feel like that happens a lot in open mics. Like they're gonna be judged by your jokes and like kind of just
I think it's someone told me this when I first started. Open mics are only to get you to not give a fuck anymore about bombing.
Ooh, that's a good.
I love that because
it's true.
You know, me and Derek as people who are not comedians, like I'm not here to give you notes and shit because I'm not doing it, and I feel like it's not our place to do that, and we are very respectful of that. We love comedy, but also at the same time, like you need to. Fuck, I forgot. I fucking lost where I was going.
That
with
was
this.
such a great build.
It was
Like
edit it and add it. Melt something now.
At the same time, we will edit this part. Okay. Fuck. Quick.
It was so good. I was in it, dude.
I was gonna run through a wall.
Okay.
I was like,
fuck. Quick pause so I know where I'm going with this. But for me, really, like the open mics, the purpose of it is you have a bit that you're working on. You think it's funny, and at its basis form, like you need to stand on a stage and say it into a microphone and determine whether or not you like it. Like you need to like the way that you are performing the bit and to see whether or not it hits. And if people don't laugh at it in that situation, it doesn't mean it's not funny, but you need to experience that for yourself. Does that make sense when I say that?
Absolutely. Because like with the not giving a fuck about bombing, I've done so many open mics that like, I'm not kidding when I have the endurance, I could bomb 0 crowd reaction. Everyone hates it for 15 minutes and not be bothered. You know what I mean? I could do that every night of the week. I could just talk and have everybody disapprove. And I have about 15 minutes of, I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to do it until around 15. I'd be like, okay, that's it. But,
yeah. And I love that because I've been to mics where like people bomb. They say that they're bombing. I have seen a guy go up to the bar and order a drink mid-set while he's bombing and shaming the crowd. And it's like, to me, as a comedy enthusiast, and I know Derek feels the same way, like, I'm not going to judge you if things aren't landing with the crowd. And also, if I think it's funny, I'm going to be laughing. Because like I said, when you had your set, the first time I saw you perform at Planet 13, I was giggling like a little girl in the back. You did get genuine laughs, but it wasn't as like in the right room. That shit kills. You were crushing it, dude.
Like and it's part from poker and understanding variance. I always try to stay balanced with everything. So like probably one of the best gigs I get to do is or the 2 best gigs I get to do is the Josh Wolf at Kimmel's, and
love it. Great fucking show.
That show was amazing. Yep.
And I don't know if you've heard of John Caparulo.
I have heard of them. Yep.
So I opened for him at Kimmel's on Tuesday.
Oh, awesome, dude. It's fucking great.
In a rotation with other people, but once a month. And after both of those shows, every time I go to a shitty open mic, just so that I don't go home with like a hot head, like,
oh, okay.
I like that, dude. You temper yourself with both. That's fucking great because the crowds at Kimmel's are amazing. The time that we went to see Josh Wolf and his son Jake Wolf, the crowd was electric. It was packed. It was a really great scene.
And also, I mean, they just
and then I'm at right after, and I'm like, I need.
Where like half the crowd is ignoring you, and
people are getting stabbed in parking lots.
People are getting stabbed in parking lots. I guess we're calling that out, like Jesus Christ.
They're like, it's happened 3 times there.
Your set was fucking terrible, bro.
3 times there. One of my buddies called me Narcan because 3 times there's been like a dude, and this is a different bar. There's been a dude who might have been a little injecty Lexi over there and has woken up during my set. Like that happened 3 times in a row where 3 different junkies were like passed out, and then I started doing stand-up and they had woken up and left. It was the funniest thing ever. It happened 3 weeks in a row. Like they were out and they go, fuck this, and just start walking by. I'm like, I walked him? Dude, like, you guys should thank me.
Anytime they have the drug addicts, it's like, get Evan up there, dude. Let's get him out of here.
Do 3.
At least it will keep you humble. But like I said, from my perspective, I love your shit, man. And also just the fact that you stay in it, because I feel like that is a big part of being in comedy, is you have to be willing to accept that not every single
that's so respectful. You said you'll just eat,
you have to just keep going and doing your shit, man.
One of my biggest bombs is at the V Theater at Planet Hollywood.
Okay, yeah.
Been there.
And, bombed for a while, and at the very end of the dude tearing me apart, and I don't think he liked my act personally. He goes, but you did the whole time and you did not break. And he's like, I've seen people die up here and they give up. He was like, you stayed shtick the whole time. You did not care. And I was like, that's a lot of open mics that I can just not care and
persevere.
I'm going to, and I don't really tell stories, so it's like 30. I have like 30 jokes I'm going to tell in that time. So it's, when it goes bad, it goes.
But when it goes great,
also,
you probably murder, yeah.
there's room for that with everybody. Like when we went to see William Montgomery at Wise Guys, he literally brought a fucking notebook out on stage, and he was trying new material, and I fucking love that. That's my brand of comedy. I love that. I want you to be trying new shit. I want you to be like seeing what lands with me. Like that's what makes me a fan.
And it's like the idea with poker that it's like, if you actually play poker a lot or gamble a lot, you never really get too high off of a big win. You never get too low after a big loss because you kind of realize the average is out. Like, I've had huge bombs. I opened up for Pauly Shore a couple times when he comes out here.
I fucking love that. Oh my God, we're losing another light. This is a culmination of a lot. We're fucking no. We're leaving this in because one camera angle has them lit beautifully from one side, and this one has me from the front. We are gonna keep it fucking going.
What happened to the Kelsey brothers?
Oh my God, dude!
We're actually pretty well charged.
I am neither an all-star center who is retired from the NFL, nor am I an all-star.
So comedy, I was about to say, Pauly Shore. His fans love him so much. That was the softest room. I would
They're
say
just there to laugh, right?
Oh my! If they watch Biodome, I can entertain them for. You know what I mean?
That's the room you want to be in. Biodome, the
Encino Man.
in the army
so
now.
great,
Encino Man, he has so many fucking bangers, dude. He kills it.
They went crazy for him, and it was like the softest room because they were just so excited to see him.
So you just murdered.
And they just had to put up with 10 minutes of me for being awkward. And it all balances out.
Yeah, it's
you
fucking
have
great, dude.
the mix, and you know that you're probably somewhere in between the two. You know what I mean? Like if you have a hot day at the table, you're probably not the best poker player in the world. You lose a bunch, you're probably not the worst. You know what I mean?
But also, who gives a fuck? You're crushing it in the moment. You have to appreciate shit like that. Whether or not you are like just absolutely savaging it at the poker table, or you're in a situation where you're opening up for a legend and his crowd already is just super open and welcome to laughing at whatever the fuck you say. Like that's
there's been highs when I've won big poker tournaments, have gone deep in a poker tournament more so than other times. But yeah, you want to be level headed, but there are moments still where I'm just like, holy shit, I'm in it, and you're excited. That's got to feel the same for that when you're you're opening up for a big name and you're like, holy shit, I'm in it. This is fucking great, you know.
But I always like I said, I always go to the first dive bar mic I can, just because you need to
keep it at a level keel. I fucking love that. I love that.
I respect how humble that is, dude, honestly.
I love that.
And especially when I started, they kind of went away for a while, but now they're coming back. I used to always do a lot of black open mics because they'd have a lot of different ones. And I started in those, and it was awesome. Because then I would go to the ones in the Arts District, and I would go to ones in North Vegas. And if the same jokes, you never have to worry. You know what I mean? If you only play one crowd and then you have to do a different crowd, you can be like, fuck, I don't think any of these are going to work. But if you get used to like playing everybody, you get confidence in that it's always going to work.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like it can work in North Vegas, and I went to Yuma for Arizona and did the same jokes. And those people are old, and before I was like, shit, I have no AARP shit. Like, I was like, fuck, I have nothing. I was like, they don't know what Instagram is. And I just did it, and it worked. And it's the same thing with going to the black mics, the white mics. And it sucks that it's like that in Vegas, but they do kind of have their own two separate scenes.
Yeah. Like for me personally, my kind of comedy is storytelling, but I can appreciate all brands of that. We love Casey Rocket, where his is the opposite end of the spectrum of that, where he's doing ultra crazy off the wall shit, pulling pictures out of his pocket and just saying random things. Like it's hilarious. So I feel like there's room for all of that. So
are you like a Mitch Hedberg? Sorry, real quick, kind of like in like you're the quick, fast, fucking unique hit, or like a Mark Norman, like you're just trying to bang, hit.
Yes.
Hedberg,
I would say yes. As somebody who's watched it, yes.
Yeah. Hedberg, Wright, and Galifianakis are like my favorites.
Awesome.
Like somewhere with those
fucking could have called
three.
that.
I don't know if you've ever seen Galifianakis' stand-up.
It's great. Yep.
It's unbelievable.
It is. It actually
and those
is,
three, I like just like the one-liners. I like the
quick hitters. Yep.
I like the writing process too. You know what I mean? Like I try to fall in love with the writing of it. Like,
Yeah.
I have a joke I'm working on now that I'm just so excited to tell, whether it's an open mic or not. I'm like, I thought of this.
Yeah.
And that's the
This
best
is
kind of
fucking awesome.
material,
Yeah.
whether or not it's a long story or something. I feel like honestly, there's an art in having something that can hit really quickly, where it's like you're telling a big story in a really short period of time, and if you get the laugh on that, you're fucking crushing.
And that's the beautiful thing with like art, is that you're not really wrong and everybody has their own taste. But I always tell comics this when we're talking, or people are debating. It's like music has genres, and so does comedy, but people don't really think of it in the same way. So they just compare two comics, and it's like,
you can't.
those are two completely different people.
agree,
You know what I mean?
100%.
It's
Wow.
like,
That is a great point.
Like what you
It
just said.
really is. Yep.
Evan just crushing facts
Yep.
on this pod.
Casey
tonight.
Rocket, and who else did you say? Like, how would you compare those two?
William
You
Montgomery.
can't.
They're two
They're
complete different
super
acts.
different styles of
One's
comedy.
country, one's rap. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't, like, you would never be like, I don't know, Wu-Tang Clan, Zac Brown Band. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you can't.
like, you would never say that.
I
but-
agree.
Yep.
Yeah. That's actually a
Comedy.
great fucking point, dude. So I just wanted to ask then, dude, you're big in the comedy scene. You have some big people, you're dealers. How are you with the ladies out here? You had any fun dates or any action with the women in Vegas since you have a little bit of stardom?
It does help as an icebreaker to go up and be awkward at a dive bar in front of everybody for 15 minutes. It definitely improves my chops that were better than playing online poker in my room. Because then they'd
I
have
mean,
to
it
break
is
into my
definitely
house.
more social. You know, you've already broken the ice.
In the WSOP chat, any chicks in here? The only ones in PA. I'm like, fuck, every time. It's Pennsylvania. But I matched with this girl on Hinge recently, and obviously because I have to, I have pictures of me on stage on my dating profile.
I mean, dude, I respect it. It's fine. That's what you do. It's
I
comedy.
put a caption, Pauly Shore.
We had an episode where we reviewed my Tinder profile, and we did
did
add
with
a
Jessica.
picture
It's
of
very
me
funny.
in the chair with the mic.
Yeah,
'cause
so
you
he's
kinda
in
have
the
to do
pod
it.
on the
Yeah,
dating
yeah,
profile,
yeah.
dude. So we respect it. Yeah.
Getting older, you need a personality. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like,
I am not great, but here's this thing I do that's kind of interesting.
I have my
Hello.
headshots on there. It's like an IMDb link. But she asked me about and she's like, "Oh, you're a stand-up," and then she's like, "Do you think you're funny?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I usually don't really care. Like, I'm pretty proud of my stand-up. And I've slowly been outed at work actually with being a comic without ever bringing it up. So I'm never usually ashamed. So I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." And then I sent her a video.
Isn't
She
that the
goes,
fucking worst too? Where somebody's like, "Oh, you're a comedian? Be funny right now. Give me something funny," and you're like, okay.
I'll tell two quick stories after this because this one's pretty quick, but it has to do with that. That would be funny. So I sent her a link to one of my stand-up sets, and she goes, "Oh, you're like awkward funny, LOL." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's in right now." And she's like, "Oh, do you always talk like that, or can you just sit next to somebody silently?" And I was like, "Oh, I can." I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said that I am not awkward in person. She's like, "Oh, that's too bad." And then unmatched. The next time I pulled it up, I said, "Jesus." But she liked the YouTube video.
And just like you got unmatched, we got unmatched with our fucking light coming
Yeah,
off again.
we are
if
getting
cucked by our lights right now.
We have been getting
This is
on,
we've never-
on, off the whole time, and this will be just a fucking.
We need to know that these lights don't have as best of a charge and hold a battery as we
fucking
thought they
God.
did.
We are
Sorry,
testing
Evan.
things.
My solar powered leather jacket. It's
But yeah, for you at home, Evan is fucking great on the stage, and I would, if you were in the Las Vegas area, are you doing stuff outside of Las Vegas, or are you just doing
St.
stuff
George
locally?
tomorrow, which is today.
Will be after
It'll be
this airs.
after
So
that.
like I said, like more late
you'll see it on
April,
HBO
early
by that
May. Fuck yes on HBO.
BET.
Look for us on
Do you guys
HBO.
have BET? So follow me on Instagram, Stairway to Evan. Post them.
We'll have Sweet Derek put this up right here and right next to me. Stairway to Evan. Nah.
And I'm at Kimmel's Comedy Club twice a month with Josh Wolf and John Caparulo. Wise Guys Comedy Club in the Arts District throws me a bone. And all different dive bars where attempted murders happen. in outside of.
I still can't get over that. There will be no murders, but yes, everybody, check out Evan's Instagram for his dates coming up. Support our local comedy scene. We love everyone that's been coming on the pod. We want to just grow this into a big thing. Like if you any fucking day of the week, there is mics and showcases across town where you can see these people that we've had on our pod. Go support them. Go enjoy some local comedy. We want to grow this scene and make it as best as we can.
Only support once, because I do the same jokes every time. So if you come twice, it's pushing. The third time, it's a single.
Coming twice is not too much for you to ask for. You want to come every time, Jesus Christ. So anyways, this has been a great episode.
It's been really fun.
We have really enjoyed having you on. We will have you on again in the future.
Awesome.
But to close it out, as always, I have been Uncle Kyle. That's my man, Sweet Derek, on the other end of the couch. This has been Evan Connolly, comedian. We will see you on the next one.
Thanks for so much for coming on, Evan. This has been fucking great.
Subscribe,
comment,
share,
subscribe.
check it all out. Let's go, people. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Naturals Pod. Please remember to follow us on your Twitter and Instagram accounts at the Naturals Pod. Do you have what it takes to join the Natty Nation? Like and subscribe to find out.